you Muted.
Hey, what's going on? Hello? 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 Hi, this is Brian.
Hello.
Yep, this is Brian. How you doing?
Good.
All right. This is Brian from New Orleans. This is Brian from Connecticut. Somebody's got a loud TV. They do. Yeah, I got it up here. Just
Top of the twilight there, everybody. Great day. Happy Father's Day to you.
thank you. Happy Father's Day to you guys too.
Time to get back to work now.
Happy Father's Day, buddy.
Happy Father's Day, gentlemen.
All right, hello everyone. I hope you guys can hear me okay.
I hear you.
All right. Okay,
Yeah, loud and clear.
We're going to start with a short prayer since we're ministry. All right, so we pray in the name of the Patri, Filii, Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Heavenly Father, as we gather tonight for Q&A to continue to explore means to become free, to live free, we ask for...
We can even slow it down a little more.
All right, you guys are going to need to mute yourself off, otherwise I'm going to lock everybody to completely muted. If we're not doing Q&A or you're not talking, please mute yourself. Thank you. Heavenly Father, as we continue this journey towards freedom, we ask for your guidance, your inspiration, the light of your Holy Spirit, that He may open the doors for every one of us, that He may help us also to learn well and to use this knowledge to do good and only good, and not necessarily to engage into disorderly conduct and behavior and more sinful patterns. And we pray this in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Patri, Filii, Spiritus Sancti. Amen. All right, so welcome, folks. As you guys know, we haven't heard from Chris in a couple of days. And so I don't know yet if he's going to show up. I hope he's going to show up tonight, but the reality is I don't know. I haven't been able to connect with him today at all. So I'm going to start with a quick overview and a couple of things, and then we'll see. We'll checking again to see if Chris is connected or not. If not, we may go through some Q&As and maybe a couple of items, and we'll play it by ear. All right, as you guys know, we at legalibus, legalibus.com. The goal is the first goal was to actually present Chris's materials in an easy to learn and to understand way. I'm going to share my screen with you guys.
Jay?
Yes?
Can you speak up louder or get closer to the microphone?
Okay, is it any better?
Yes, that's a lot better.
Okay. All right, so so our goals is to make these courses easy to understand and easy to follow. And that's what we've been able to do with the how to pay your bills with a coupon, with the conditional acceptance course, with the 1099A process, and there are a couple of other things out there that would help you as well, such as how to mail for free, and hidden secrets of money that I invite you guys to go over as well. They kind of give you a little bit of the background of money and how the banks create money and so forth, and how to mail for free is it's very handy when you start mailing a bunch of things, certified mail, and the cost can add up. And so that's kind of what you have access now. All the courses requires to register, and it's a free registration. You don't need to pay to access the courses, but you have to sign in to access them. There are more courses on the way. There are other materials that might not even be related to what Chris teaches that will be published eventually. We're just on the journey to find the remedy, and whatever remedy we find that makes sense, we're going to add it to the website. There's a lot of things that are in the works that are not ready to publish yet, but hopefully there'll be more good content that you guys will appreciate. It is important to take the time to go through these courses. For example, the how to pay your bills with coupon.
Jay, can you please speak up? None of us can hear you.
Oh, really? You guys cannot hear me, okay?
It's very difficult.
Is it any better?
You're loud and clear to me.
Well, those who
Yeah,
can,
me too.
first of all, for those who were hearing me okay, is my voice any better right now?
It's the same.
I hear you.
It's the
I hear
same.
you.
I hear you well.
Okay, so those have problems
Yeah.
the volume, maybe it's your device, maybe the volume,
Right.
maybe you need to put it on speakers if you're on the app as opposed to.
You're not as loud as you were just a minute ago.
What's that?
Not as loud as you were just a minute ago.
I'm sorry, say that again.
You're not as
Yeah,
loud
very
as
low.
clear as you were a minute ago.
Okay, so let me be putting my headphones again. Maybe that's gonna make it a little better.
Just get the mic close to your mouth.
Thank you for the feedback.
You're welcome.
How is it now?
Better.
Right there in that position is good.
Is there anybody that still does not hear me well?
I can hear
That's
you
better.
perfectly now.
Much better there.
I hear you just fine. You good now?
Okay, so I was explaining that the courses usually start by giving you some requirements, if applicable, giving you the videos from Chris Hauser, and then breaking down also the content, because sometimes it's not easy to always go through a video. Let's say down the road there's one piece of information you need, it's not easy to just say I'm going to go and watch a 15-minute video to find that in the middle. So that's why we also provide written down content that may help at the end of the videos. We have case studies as well, meaning anytime someone reports a success story, and I encourage you guys to do the same. If you have any success, share it with us. We can redact things and just put it in the course so that everybody can also see how someone else did it. Because the result of these things vary. For example, in the past week or so, there are some people who have complained, oh, I've tried everything, it doesn't work. The coupon doesn't work, and yet we have some people who have success too, right? And so I want to take that opportunity to remind each of us here, the freedom path is the entire system has been designed to keep us enslaved, right? And so do not think you're going to just send a piece of paper and then they're going to say, oh, here, you're free. Okay, you caught us. Great. No, it doesn't work that way. I mean, it might occasionally, but you should expect that you're going to have pushback and resistance. So how do you stand your ground, right? If you're not willing to go the extra mile and to go all the way to the end, then you're wasting your time, all right? Essentially, with these processes, you're just kind of, if you will, you're building your case. It's almost like when you do the coupon method or any other method, almost expect that they're not going to give you your way easily. So you're building your case. That's why you're using the coupon letter to quote the definitions, maybe present also additional law facts, right? And now you say, hey, based on this and that, that's why I'm submitting this coupon. And that's why those who use these methods with the spirit of template, magic bullet, they get discouraged, right? No one should try to just use templates and send it that way, because eventually they start flagging the same letter and they say, oh, we see what these people are doing. But you always want to make it your own and modify a few things, like write in your own language, and as long as the key elements are there, that's what is necessary. And so when you do that, then you expect the pushback. And when you expect the pushback, what's your next move? And that's really what you guys should know. When you're going to send a coupon, what is your next move when they refuse? If you're going to come and complain, oh, I sent it, it didn't work. Okay, it didn't work. And then what's your next move, right? It's almost like you start the process with hope, but you don't really know how to end the process. So how far is it going to lead you? Imagine that you are enslaved and then you just go decide, I'm gonna go to a slave master and say, hey, I should be free. Okay, what's your process? If he says no, what are you gonna do? And that's why we started talking about remedies. We have these private study sessions that we started recently. Right now it's open only to those who are supporting the site by making donations. But we had a study on Friday night session, and we discussed the remedy. And we discussed the next steps. After you're done with the coupon and the refuse, now what do you do? And we discussed a couple of remedies, one of which is what Chris teaches, right? Which is conditional acceptance. You write your conditional acceptance, and for that you go to the course called conditional acceptance. You watch those videos and you view these templates. And the example, there's one here for mortgage, right? If you're doing a coupon with the bank, I would probably take this conditional acceptance. You can review it here, you can download it here, and I would probably modify it because not all of it apply if it's a credit card. Then you modify that and you send it following the instructions to everyone that you need to send it to, right? And then after that, after the time that you give them is over and they have not done anything, sometimes they will do something and maybe that will be the end of it. But if they don't, then at that point, you're going to send that treasury contract and to try to collect and lien security, right? So that's really what the next steps are. And then the end game is that you have the treasury collect. And you also have those liens. right? So that's kind of how you go all the way. So there's definitely some additional steps there. The treasury contracts is like what? You have to wait 45 days, um, and so forth. So I'm not going to break it down any further because we haven't really put the course on on that yet, on the lien security and so forth, right? But so that's kind of your next steps, at least if you want to handle it, in the private like Chris does, right? Now, the so always be ready for your next step, and keep learning. You know, we have to keep learning, and sometimes you may do one thing, it works. 10 other people do it, it works, and then the 11th person does it and it doesn't work anymore. Why? Because maybe they wake up. Maybe they're like, okay, we have a situation. Maybe they sit in their corporate center and they say, hey, we have a situation here. Many people are now, doing this and that. How can we counter? And then they decide to counter. Is that going to mean the coupon doesn't work? No, that's why nobody should treat this as templates. Just treat it as this is your case, this is your fight, you're going to fight. However they adapt, you're going to adapt as well to fight. Hopefully we're going to introduce more sample coupon letters soon. There's another one that I want to put on the website, just haven't had time to finalize it yet, to add a little bit more meat. And so that's kind of the way, I'll look at it. And then you have the 1099A process here that you guys are familiar with. The last 4 sections after the Chris's videos are important as well. So now, after you go through that, you just definitely want to fill out those sections. And I know there are so many voices out there that you guys are listening to, and then, people get confused and so forth, right? Look, we're not going to answer the confusion. We have given you what Chris teaches. So I don't know, when you guys go and do something different and now you bombard our emails and ask questions, oh, I submitted this online. Well, the course said that don't submit, that the beneficiary doesn't submit anything. So when you come and say, oh, I submitted mine online, what should I do now? What do you expect us to do? You're wasting our time. Because the course says here, the beneficiary should not submit. It's at your own risk. If you do something different, then that's on you, right? Right. So you guys should be mindful of what the course covers and what you're asking as well. And I know there's confusion, and it's okay to ask, constructive questions. Now I'm going to talk about a couple of maybe technical issues that some of you have. Like I said, the only requirement when you sign in is to access the courses is to be signed in, right? And try to also don't capitalize your emails, because some people, they do all kinds of things, then they can't get in. Sometimes you're going to get that notification that admin access or something along those lines. As long as you're signed in, disregard that. Maybe after a while, then the browser doesn't recognize you're signed in. Maybe that's why, I'm not sure. We'll look into that. But ultimately, it's not going to prevent you from signing in. So please don't send emails saying, well, I got this alert. Well, if it didn't prevent you from accessing the course, then there's no issue there. Okay, so that's another issue that we've been dealing with. And also, some of you guys, for whatever reason, maybe privacy, and we understand that, use emails that are either junk emails or full, and then when the site send the verification links, you guys don't get it because your email is full. And then you keep bombarding our emails saying, I never got the verification email. And now multiply these guys, multiply by hundreds of people asking the same nonsense. You provide junk email, then we can't reach you, and then you say that you have issues getting our emails, and then when we have a study, you say, well, I never got the link, and now you want us to go and spend minutes investigating why you didn't get the link. I think if this continues, we're going to now introduce paid support, that if someone doesn't pay for support, because we're not a big team here, and we don't have enough resources to scale, right, to hire more people. So eventually, we might have to make support completely paying, so that if you can navigate on your own, it's free for you. But if you want someone to deal with your technical issues, even though it's on our website, You may say, well, it's your website. Okay, yeah, but it's also, it cannot be free, and at the same time, with limited resources, we answer things that are not related to the materials directly. We'll provide the best we can, but try to contact someone at Gmail. Tell me how you're gonna do that. They provide something free, but you cannot reach anybody. AOL, the same thing.
They go through T-Mobile.
What's that?
They go through T-Mobile. They go
Who
through
goes
T-Mobile.
Who goes through T-Mobile?
Cell phone company. Sprint sold their stuff to T-Mobile.
What are you talking about? How is that related to what I'm talking about now?
No, I thought I'm sorry, my phone went out. I thought that's what you was talking about. My apologies.
So if you're not sure, then you're just derailed the conversation. I'm saying that those of you who have Gmail, all those free email clients, can you reach someone if you have a technical problem? No, because you cannot provide free and burn out your resources on technical support. It's just impossible.
Brian, mute yourself.
Can you please ask the people that aren't muted to mute, please? There's a lot of feedback coming through.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then I'm gonna ask one more time, guys. Mute yourself if you're not talking. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to mute everybody. Okay. All right. So let me see if my screen is probably not sharing anymore. I'm gonna share it again. All right. Anyway, I was just trying to express to you guys the challenges with, answering emails about, oh, I can't get in, oh, I get this, message. I'm trying to provide this so you guys know, and so hopefully it helps, right? But I just want to also thank all those of you who, despite your limited means, you're trying to donate, because I know many people who are trying to do this don't have the money. That's the reason why they're actually trying to, pay with a coupon. But, we appreciate that you're still going out of your way to appreciate what we're doing and supporting. That's the spirit that helps to move this thing forward. What else did I want to talk about really quick? Just so you guys know, about many people are requesting information on the trustee process, right? Now, I'm going to say again, if you want the information on the trustee process as far as Chris teaches, it's available to you. You can go to the 1099A process. You watch all these videos, right? And particularly the one that says 1099 OIDA 1096 1040V. Now, some of the information there might need to be updated. You also have access to Chris's YouTube channel. You can watch all the Q&As that he has been doing, and you're going to get some information about the trustee process because he answers those questions, okay? So that is available to you. Now, we are proposing to put a course together to make it easy for everybody to have access to that. So that means someone is going to have to sit down, compile all the details, write them down, explain it, put screenshots and everything to make it easy to digest. That is time, resource, and expenses, right? So we're going to put that course, and we're proposing to put it for free, but it's going to take time. So that's the reason why the course is not yet up. But in the meantime, what we have been doing is, and the other reason why we're not also necessarily, we don't think it's absolutely an emergency, is because it's, again, many people still don't have the forms. We're hearing people are getting more and more the forms, so that may help and so forth. And quite frankly, we want to also see some of the people who have been doing this since April. We want to see a little bit more success, so we can, also have some case study in the course, right? However, for those who cannot wait and who need trustee training, we have been doing that on a one-on-one private consultation basis. So if you need that, you can go to Contact Us button on the website, right on the top right corner, or at the bottom, get in touch, right? You could go there, click on that, and submit your request for the consultation. We offer consultation for the trustee training, as well as for anything. If there's anything you just want to talk to someone about your case and just get some ideas, brainstorm solutions, yeah, request a consultation. We'll use our time to help you, and we accept donations for that, and that helps the ministry. Okay, so that's what we've been doing. So for anybody out there who needs that, you already have your forms and you want to maybe start with your family members and so forth, but you just need, the right information. That's the way we do it. Okay, so just keep that in mind, folks. But we require donation in order to do that, render that service, because it takes time, right, to do that. So I just want to be clear so you guys don't misunderstand what we're doing here. Are we going to do it forever? Probably not. We can only do a few every week, you know what I'm saying, due to time constraints. So we're just experimenting with that. We don't have we can't put it on the website yet because we don't know yet what we're going to do about this training. Maybe once the course is up, maybe we won't need to do this kind of training. You see what I'm saying? So that's the reason why we don't advertise the donation threshold for us to give you a consultation. You're going to get it by email. We prefer not to because we can change it anytime at will without any explanation. So if you're going to go and tell people, oh, they are asking this donation for that, okay, well, maybe next week it's going to be something different. Then the person is going to say, well, they said it was this and that. That's why we don't advertise. We're experimenting with this. We're telling you what we're willing to do it for. It may change anytime. Maybe when we figure this thing out and we figure out if it's something we want to do long term, especially after the course is ready, maybe we can now put something more official on the website. That's the reason why we try to keep it kind of like private for now. But if you make a request, we reply to you. And if you're willing to move forward, we schedule you. Okay? So keep that in mind. And if you need consultation on anything else, that's fine as well. But just understand, we're just here trying to help. You are making a donation to help the ministry, but in exchange for a certain amount in donation, we're willing to spend the time with you. But just understand, we're not it's not like a guarantee or anything, right? We're just trying to make ourselves available to help to the best of our knowledge and experience we have. So let's just keep that in mind, okay? And our goal, though, is to really continue to find effective remedies and bring it to the people. So hopefully, and that's why the courses keep being updated over and over every time we have something new. For example, in the how to pay your bill, you saw we posted this week another testimonial of someone called Tiara. She managed to pay her Capital One. As you guys can see my screen, I think, right? Somebody tell me if you're seeing the screen.
Yes.
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 Okay, good. You can mute yourself back now. So essentially, she paid with a coupon, right? And this is what she did. And thankfully, she was, kind enough to talk to us and reply to our questions, and that allowed us to feel more comfortable now presenting it here. And the details are right there. You could view. She paid 3 credit cards, and guess what? But then it didn't show up on her account until she called them. So why are we posting here? So you could see what works and how those who succeeded, managed to do it, right? And so we put all the details of her answers there, and if it inspires anybody, go and try as well and report your results. And that's how we hope to continue helping each other, by sharing experiences, right? So we can perfect the process. But this tells you she called. There's another testimony where the person also had to call before, but that other testimony we had to change it because they reverted after a couple of months. So we ask this individual that, hey, just keep monitoring. If in a couple of months, if in 2 months, confirm that it's still on and that it have not reverted it. And she said, okay, she will. So, but for now, she's preparing for her conditional acceptance in case they reverse the transaction, right? So that is kind of what we're monitoring, and we're trying to adapt based on what is happening. Because those people, they will adapt as well based on what we're doing. So it's better to be in the mindset of, okay, I'm in for my fight and I'm going to adapt and do what I have to do, until I get my remedy. but we have some other remedies, like I said, that are pretty straight law that I think will be able to actually help even better, especially if you need to put your bill in a do not collect status, so that you don't have to pay in the short term until until the dispute is completed. So now this is the error I was telling you guys about. Some people of you get this error, due to security restrictions. Again, just disregard that. We're aware of that little glitch, but it doesn't prevent you from continuing to access the site. The only requirement is that you're signed in. Okay. All right. The reason why we require signing is not so much, it's because we don't want all that we do out there. We don't want it necessarily indexed in Google. We want our information to remain behind a little. We want a little bit of privacy. It's okay it's free, but we don't want it just up out there. In fact, if we had, the forum is the platform we're using. Also, we have certain restrictions there, but I would not even have liked to have even the outline available like this, so unless someone is completely in the course. But anyway, and again, so those who, the private study sessions we've been having, which are more practical, they are, as of now, we plan to have them twice a month, as of now. And again, everything is subject to change based on how things go, right? And so the next one would probably be in 2 Fridays or something along those lines. And that one, the rule is very simple, because I have to say this because many people send emails and we cannot answer all emails, right? So the rule is very simple, right? Whenever we're going to do the session, we're going to look on that day, we're going to send the access detail on that day, okay, for the Zoom or whatnot. And on that day, we're going to look at all the donations over the past 30 days. And we're going to take the emails of all the people who donated in the past 30 days, and we're going to send them the invitation. As simple as that. And then moving forward, this month, we have been also honoring those who have donated consultations and so forth. But moving forward is not going to be the case, because when you're donating for the consultation, you're also getting service anyway. But there are people who are just donating freely, right, without necessarily getting anything, other than the free access we're giving. So that's the reason why for the private study sessions, we're going to look at those who donated in the past 30 days. So, so for those of you who donate monthly by clicking on subscription donation, you're fine. You don't have to worry about it. Every month you're going to receive your notice, right? Any of you who just use the link make a donation to make a one-time donation, as long as it's within 30 days of that session, you'll be fine. You're going to receive the email. Now, if you use the bad email, you may not receive it, right? So please keep that in mind, so that you guys don't flood our mailbox with, I didn't receive it, that's the rule. So if you don't receive it, you're probably outside of the rule, or you went to your junk mail, or your mailbox was full, and at some point, and that's the reason why we have also started to disable those mailboxes that come back as full. Now we're going to disable you won't have access to the website anymore. I mean, the only reason is because when you have that, you put a junk mailbox, now maybe you're thinking, oh, I just want to be private, and fine, we respect that. But then don't ask for services, because then you start emailing saying, when we have important things, announcement or important things, now you're like, I didn't get the email. Okay, well, your mailbox was full, so it bounced back. So why should we spend the time with tens of people spending the time to figure this thing out when it's really unnecessary, right? So we're just deciding that we're going to disable. If an email bounce, we disable you, you won't be able to access. Otherwise, you're going to keep bugging us with things that really will waste time. Again, we're not a big organization. We're very limited here, and then we're trying to help everybody, So sorry, guys, if I have to kind of present it this way, but I think we need to kind of put things a little bit in order so we can help each other out, and so we don't burn out just doing things that are not really advancing the cause, if you will. Okay, so if you are interested in supporting us, you can go to the home page, and then you have 2 options. You're welcome to do that. Now, let me just double check here. I'm going to check again if Chris is with us or not. All right, I don't think Chris is with us yet, and I don't know if he's going to be joining because, of course, um, we know that he was having he had a couple of teeth pulled out, as far as I understand, and was in pain towards the middle of the week. So I don't know if that resulted in him going to the emergency again or not. I'm waiting for more details. I'm waiting for, I've been trying to reach him, but it hasn't been easy lately. So that's all I know. Please keep Chris in your prayers. You know, you guys know that all that we was talking here because of him, right? It's, we're having a little bit of hope because of the selfless giving of himself and the materials that he has provided. So, you know, let's you know, keep him in our prayers daily. You know, genuine, heartfelt prayers. You know, for his well-being, so he can be with us again. Now that being said, perhaps we could go into a few questions on the website. Some questions I may answer, some I may just wait until Chris is back. I'm definitely not going to answer questions that for which we haven't put out a course on it yet. So that, you know, I usually leave Chris decide if he wants to answer those or not. So let's go. I'm going to go over a couple of questions here, and then I'll maybe open Q&As for those who have questions. How does that sound?
Can you share that example again of the success on the credit card?
The success on the coupon?
Yeah, from Capital One. Can you put that back up for a minute, please?
Well, you can go to the website. I'm not going to go back because we have to move forward, but you have access to it. You go to the coupon page on the case studies. It's one of them. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Let me see here. We have a few questions here. Let me see unanswered. So after conditional acceptance has been accepted, then the instructions. Okay, so we haven't put the course out, so I'm going to skip that one. Unless Chris wants to answer that later on. Opening the bank account, trustee or truster. Let me see what it says. On a typical trust, the trustee opens up the account and has the only signing privileges on the account. I seem to remember that you or someone opened their own trustee account with their signature and the bank. If the purchase is to be determined, well, Chris simply says that you open an account as a beneficiary. You put the beneficiary, you sign as beneficiary in your account, regardless of whether you're a trustee or beneficiary. So that's what Chris suggests. Signing your social security card with a beneficiary signature, QSIP number and life certificate birth. How many 1099As can you submit within the year? I'm not aware that there's a limit. However, if you talk about submitting as a trustee, I'm not aware that there's a limit. If you talk about as a beneficiary, you know, I believe Chris says that it's 1 car per person, per household, per year. Same for house. So that's what I've heard Chris say. Funding times. Hey Chris, life is changing. Thank you. Thanks to you. But can anyone give first-hand account of actual funding times? No, nobody can. Nobody knows. Ideally, I know of some who have received their money. Okay, I know someone who did it in January, and by end of February, the money was already there. It was within like 45 days, like Chris usually says. And Chris's own experience, it has been like 45 days-ish. So, but now, you know, those who have submitted after March, like maybe, you know, mostly April, because I think it's in April that most discover, oh, we could submit these online. So everybody's still waiting. So maybe with the tax season and everything, there are more delays, and that's why we're all waiting. So if you guys hear any success on that one, definitely let us know. But I can tell you this process, people have flooded the IRS with 1099s, and some legit ones, and those who don't understand what they're doing and they just wanted to get into the action, and they submitted things that don't even make sense and all that. So, so we're waiting. We're all waiting to see what's going to happen. How to execute a letter of credit. So I'm not going to cover that now. Using 1099-A in person with a business. So let's look at that question. Is there any way of using the 1099-A process directly with a business, short of using a trustee without having it in hand? The IRS 1099-A form is still on a back order for most of us, and doesn't seem likely they will be coming out soon. So is there a way of using a 1099 process directly with a business? I don't understand what you mean, Carol, but so far Chris says it's a trustee that should submit those. So a beneficiary provides that.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
What I mean is that if you go in, such as like how Chris goes through buying something from the dealer, a car or truck or whatever it was, and he hands him that hard copy 1099-A because you have to sign the back of it, along with explaining to them the process and so forth.
Okay.
Well, these 1099s have been on back order for, I don't know, 6 weeks or more now. I'm still waiting on mine. So I have none, and I understand, I know I could go through my trustee and give her a list.
Okay, so your question is if you can go through a business directly, is that right?
Yes.
Yes, of course. You could go through a business, but they will have to know how to submit the forms that a trustee submits. So they will just have to know that process. So
right, but what do we give them as far as the 1099-A if we don't have a hard copy to give them?
Well, I don't think you have anything to give them if you don't have a hard copy. I don't think you can if you don't have a hard copy. Some people say submit online and give it a copy B. Again, Chris doesn't advocate that the beneficiaries should submit anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they do have to have the hard copy, and there's no way you can do it online and take that copy B to them to say, see here, and here are the amounts, and this is what you're going to get paid, and expect them to take that copy and file it.
Well, some people suggest that you could do that, but again, we have to understand what we're doing, right? The question is, can the beneficiary submit the 1099-A? Is it proper? And the answer is no, it's not proper. Even the form says you have to be a lender or whatnot, and so nothing supports that a beneficiary should file himself the 1099-A. So if you want to go with these guidelines of not filing as a beneficiary, then you need a hard copy that you're going to submit to the dealership, unless you have a trustee that would file your 1099-A and then you submit the copy to the dealership. I don't know if that's possible, but if you have a trustee that could do that, why wouldn't that trustee do the rest as well? But yeah, the answer is if you're able to give them a 1099-A that's endorsed, according to Chris, as long as they don't know what to do, often you have to tell them how you have to file these other forms, the 1099 OID and 1096 and 1040V. So as long as you tell them that, if they have the instructions, they should be able to do that. But yeah, that's the way you would do it through a business. Okay.
Right. Short of going through a trustee, which would take forever, I think.
But I just want to warn you, many businesses are not aware of this procedure, and therefore they're going to be resistant. So you might spend a lot of time trying to either argue or convince them and get frustrated. And that's the reason why going through a trustee is easier. And then, like I said, if anybody needs to go to a trustee, but the trustee doesn't know how to do, you can sign up sign up yourself or your trustee for a consultation. We'll happily show you what Chris says that the trustee should be able to submit and how to do those, and so that at least you get going.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll get with you all one-on-one.
Okay, just submit the request.
Not having that in hand yet, you know?
Yep.
So, okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Hold on one second. So Carol, one other thing. You
Yes.
could always try to acquire the, oh, by the way, if you sign up for a consultation, Carol, we'll happily send you a set of 1099A and OID and stuff, okay? Just mention in your request that you need them, and then we'll send you, because we have some extra ones. So just remind me, because we did offer that as a promotion was it last week or something like that, but it's it's no longer really a promotion, but hey, we'll do that if you need it. So yeah, the next gentleman was going to ask something.
Well, I was just going to let Carol know that you can order 1099A compliance forms, but you have to pay for them. They're not free.
What does that mean, compliance forms?
Compliance forms, the only thing that makes the IRS forms where you have to give them to them is scannable ink. The compliance forms are scannable ink. So
okay, well,
you use those.
Yeah. So Carol, as a matter of fact, if you go to the course on our website, are you seeing the screen now?
Yes.
Oh no, my screen is not showing anything. Let me check.
You're not sharing it. That's what.
Let's start again. If you go to, okay, now I should be sharing, to 1099A process course, you go down and you click on where can I get the 1099A and related forms. So in this section, there's a link there for NALCO solution where you can order also some. They sell IRS compliant forms, but theirs is not in theirs doesn't have the carbonless copies, but that's okay. You could manually fill out copy B and C because they don't need to be scannable. Only the copy A is required to be scannable. So that's one thing. The other way for you to get it is you just have to read this. The other way is make an order to the IRS maybe for a small amount, maybe 5 or so, and sometimes people have received them faster that way. Another option for you is order or obtain older forms, maybe from 2020, and you should be able to use them as well, as far as I understand.
They would accept 2020s now, even when they have the year 2021.
As far as I understand it, because what options do people have? They're not sending the forms fast enough, so some people have heard that you could use, all the years. Yeah. Okay. So.
All right. I'll double check on that and see what happens there.
All right. Okay, thanks. Now, the next question was 1099A to reclaim bank credit card transactions. So Bradley's asking, do you have experience reclaiming bank credit card transaction with 1099A? From what I understand, so this is another thing that gets under my skin, the understand or overstand word. So folks, many of you guys are using these words, right? Understand, overstand. And I'm going to ask you, what is the definition? From what dictionary are you getting that word from? Can anybody here on the line tell me, please, if you use overstand or understand, what dictionary are you using?
Hello?
Yes.
I don't have a dictionary definition of it, but it has something to do with quantum grammar.
So you just make up word then to use them?
No, it's this guy developed basically a mathematical formulation for grammar.
I know about quantum grammar, but I don't understand how we go from quantum
grammar. Well,
because
when you say you understand in the legalese world, if you're in court, that means you're standing under whatever you're saying.
Okay, so, okay.
You don't need to use those words.
Okay, so hold on. So understand, you're saying it means you're standing under, right? So I'm gonna look up in front of you guys, because you guys got to know what you're playing with, right? If you're going to use quantum grammar, then speak quantum grammar. Don't go take a word, and put it in the regular language and call it, quantum grammar, because we're not talking about the same things. But let's see, legal definition of understand. All right, understand. So now we're going to the law dictionary, and we're going to try to see what understand means, because you guys have heard that it means standing under. So this is the legal definition of understand from Black's Law Dictionary. This is powered by Black's Law Dictionary, 2nd edition. And it says what? Understand this means to comprehend, to know, to be able, aware of, and to have the knowledge of. So you tell me then, what part of this understand in the legal dictionary means standing under?
I can't tell you. It's
so why are you talking
David Wynn-Miller. I don't use that type of language. I mean, if I was in court, I wouldn't say understand in court, or I wouldn't agree to it. I'd tell them, no, I don't.
It's a simple. When you go to the court, you say, I do not understand the charges. As simple as that.
Yeah, you just don't agree with it. That's what I do.
You don't understand the charges. They cannot proceed unless you understand the charges against you. And you have the right to say, I don't understand. But the point I'm making is people have been using this understand, overstand, made up word. And I'm like,
confusing. I know, I've read it too.
If you are in court and you have to use legal words, then use legal words. And here's the definition of the legal word understand. If you want to do quantum grammar, then do quantum grammar. And then if that allows you to make up word, then talk quantum grammar from start to finish. Because even David Wynn-Miller, when he does his thing, the whole thing has to be, in the syntax, parse, whatever.
Exactly. Like the UN and under means no. So you're saying I understand, you're saying no, I don't understand.
Well, I understand we can use etymology to break down words. I get that.
I just use comprehend as my word.
It depends on what you're doing. It depends on what you're doing. If I receive some kind of legal or some kind of things against me, and I decided I'm going to syntax that, at that point I can break down the word, and I can say, under, and then stand, and I can break down that way to say, hey, this doesn't mean anything, or this doesn't make sense. But that's a different process.
Yeah.
Now you talk about, when we're talking positively or talking in a regular, language, or using legal words and so forth. Now you introduce understand. When you file a petition, are you going to write understand? When you try to write your contract with the Treasury or with those companies, or your affidavit to hold them accountable, are you going to write those made-up words?
Heck no.
Exactly.
No, I think you need to use the entire thing in quantum grammar if you're going to try to use that.
So, I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying,
this is nonsense.
This is nonsense, folks. You guys and your understand, overstand. What dictionary are you using?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're making up words.
I think she just made up the word, or maybe it is something.
No, I know many people use that. I know why, but I'm just using this moment to try to enlighten ourselves a little bit, right? Because if you're not.
I was going to say, I would like to say something about the 1099 and signing it as beneficiary. Because like when we write checks, you can write a check out to yourself, endorse it on the back, and sign it as the representative. And technically you're doing all three. And they accept it.
Okay.
But, I mean, that's just something to look into anyway.
Okay. So, now you can mute yourself back, please. Now, to answer this question, can you reclaim? Yes, there's a process to reclaim all the expenses that you have spent, as long as you have receipts and everything, and to reclaim them through another 1099 process. That's something that we're not ready to share yet, but that's something that we're looking into to potentially bring that as well to our community, right? So yes, there's a process, because if the government was supposed to, cover some of those, our needs, then, it's possible. But again, we want people who are not shaky, who are willing to give it a try and document the process, so we can also build case study to see how that works. Okay, so but so we have not really shared on that yet. The IRS will issue a 5,000 fine for each error in the filing, though, so it needs to be done correctly. I get it. Next one is more explanation about letter of credit. I'm not going to cover that now. 1099A to reclaim bank transaction. That's what we're talking about already. Credit limit. Now, so folks, let me use this again to help us understand. So I'm here on this forum. I need, by reading the titles, to know what the question is. So credit limit, I don't know where this is going, right? But the next question, for example, say how to write the beneficiary name when your name has a JR or second. That's a clear question, a very clear question. So if you want to know how to ask questions in the forum, you go to about, right? And then read a little bit here how to structure the question. What should you avoid in my questions? How to present your questions? Read a little bit about this, right? And that will help you formulate your questions better. But by reading just the title of the question, one should be able to know what this is about, and then to click to see more details. Now you have, it says credit limit. Is there a financial limit to payment coupons or 1099A transaction? Well, now the question is actually in the middle. Why not just put that question in the title? You know, so please, folks, I'm choosing this just to as an opportunity to, you know, to help you guys know how to use our platform, because if everybody learns how to use this effectively, we can help each other out more effectively as well, you know. And because anybody would like to be able to just read a question here and know, wow, this is talk about me, right? So this, I know I need to read that. So is there a limit? I'm not aware of a limit, you know. How to write your beneficiary name when your name has junior? That's George asking. How does one write when you have junior? My understanding is that you're going to write, for example, if you had junior, I'm going to take the example of your own name here, George, if you're listening. You have George-A colon Dorsey, comma beneficiary. My understanding is if you had JR, you would do Dorsey-JR, comma beneficiary. That's my understanding of how you add your junior. Okay. Next question is after CA, that's condition acceptance, I guess. And the other thing, guys, is, you know, when you write a question like this, after CA sent to utilities for rejecting coupon payment. Okay, first of all, that's not a question. That's a statement. Number two, how can you improve on this question? Well, CA is better to spell it out, or at the minimum, select the tag. You guys know see how there are tags, right? You have the ability to select the right tag when you submit your question. That could also help categorize it, right? Because newcomers come and see CA, they don't know what that means. And you know, you can say because you have had experience with that. So Isa is asking, Power Light Company receives CA, meaning conditional acceptance, for those who don't know what that means, after rejecting my coupon payment. Then after 2 months, they sent me a new bill online to my mail to be paid. What is the next step? Pay again new bill with coupon? Advice. My approach is this. The coupon thing, when you are dealing with something that could affect your livelihood, like utilities, I think you want to be careful, right? Because if they shut down, you don't want to be in a tough situation. So I would pick my battles, right? I'll pick my battles, and if there's a risk of being shut down, I'll probably keep paying. You could always try to continue doing your thing while you're paying, you know, because if you win, you might get refunded. So that's what I would do if I'm not ready to deal with the consequences of non-payment. Okay, and that applies also to credit cards and loans and mortgages. If you're not ready to deal with the consequence, the negative consequence on your credit report or on your or maybe potential fines or whatnot, or repossession, then you could always, you know, don't default if you unless you really don't have a means to pay, I would not default. You can always do your procedure gracefully without defaulting, and when you prevail, you can get your money back. So that could be a nice way to do it without while minimizing the negative effects. And then the next question says, Susan is asking, tax implications of 1099A, wondering what the tax implications are in this process. When I read the instructions for 1099A form, there seems to be the indication that there is a potential for capital gain or cancel debt that could potentially create tax liability. Does anyone have? Well, that's something that actually I wanted to cover in one of our sessions with Chris. So I can give you a some high-level thoughts, right? But I hope to have a more elaborate coverage on that later on. So I think it depends on how the trustees, either trustees trustee as an entity or as their own name, right? But yes, it's possible that there's a tax event. Again, it depends on also if the trustee is doing as trustee, it depends on the trustee relationship with the taxes, of course, right? But if the trustee is doing it as an entity, whether it's a business or whether it's as a business, then there will be likely tax implication. But the tax implication, I believe, would be to the extent of the amount that the trustee is getting paid towards, right? Not the entire amount. We can break it down more later. Now, we have helped some of our trustees, some of the trustees that have gone through our one-on-ones. We have helped some of them set up what's called a private ministry, which is an unregistered ministry, which allows them to operate in the private without, because when you do a 501c3, which is a charitable organization, you are still organizing under their statutes and you're still subject to their laws, and so you don't want that. So when you organize as a private entity, private ministry or whatnot, then you are able to operate 100% tax-free privately, and so we've helped a few people with that, and that's something that you may want to consider as well if you don't want to have, if you want it to be not taxable at all. We have a package for that. Just submit a request if you need that help, and we're happy to provide you with the information and to help you set up such. It's it's very effective. So, and then before I forget, I was going to say, our hope is that we're going to publish eventually a page on our website where all those who have gone through our trustee consultation, we want to put them on the website for those who need a trustee. So that's something that we're working on. And we're also working on a package, a website package for those who want to be trustee for more, because some people just want to do it with their family members, but others want to help others. So we're working on a package like that so that you may have a website where you can have your beneficiaries submit their paperwork and documents, and you can communicate with them and so forth. So we're going to provide that as well, because it takes a huge burden out, and then you can focus on being a trustee. So we're close to finalizing that, but that's something that's available for anybody who has already taken our trustee consultation, or anybody who desire to just request, and we'll be happy to accommodate. I think we're probably going to also create a subgroup for the trustees so that we can the trustees can also share, because there's so many things that can change, and sometimes some people may have new means or new information that can help everybody else. So I think it might be warranted to have a trustee group somehow within our website that will be able to keep up with everything. So I ask for you guys support and prayers as well, so that all these initiatives can take place sooner than later. Letter templates. Letter templates. Having trouble figuring out how to write the correct letters to submit with the bill voucher. So, Mr. Murphy, two things. That's not a good title for a question, right? Letter template. So please, next time, try to write a good question that you put in the title, and you can add more details in the description. Now, when you're saying letter templates, so I guess you're probably referring to the letter of credit, because now the tag, at least he added the tag letter of credit, because I was about to think he should talk about coupons, but so that's helpful. But I'm not going to answer that now because we have not put a course yet on the letter of credit. That's a question that if Chris wants to answer, he can. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not ready. I don't want to spend too much time on things that we haven't published the course on yet, because we're going to spend the time to do that anyway. What is the next one is, what is the remedy when a 401k administrator ignores the WBN and takes out federal taxes? Let me see that question. I made a 401k with, I don't know what WG means, and submitted with WABN. I'll withdraw. Okay, and they ignored it and took out federal taxes. What is the legal recourse? That's something that I'll probably let Chris answer that. I thought you meant, if you meant preventing them from taking out the Social Security taxes, that's a different matter. But if you make a withdrawal of 401k, I think there are specific laws that apply for 401k that you get a penalty, I guess, and that's probably what you're talking about here. But if you have submitted W8BN, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll have to research a little bit on that. Maybe I'll be curious to see what Chris thinks about it, because now we talk about two different types of instrument here, and I do not know the extent of, I do not know the extent of the W8BN applying to the 401k. And when you do a 401k, do you potentially sign to, and agree to all the legality of that instrument? So those are the things that I'm not clear on, so I can't even answer that. But you're welcome to bring that question the next time Chris is on, but we'll keep that on the website as well. Treasury account. Donald's treasury account. I'm the trustee for someone doing a 1099 for a car, and I have a treasury account. Can I have the money deposited in my treasury account? I know some people are trying to do that. Personally, I don't know. I don't know. That's up to you, I would say. That's up to you. If you tried, let us know how that works. Because I've heard some people trying to do it that way, hoping that it will be faster, but I'm still waiting for people to confirm that, yes, the money actually arrived faster because it was their treasury direct account. So that will be up to you, I guess. But please report back about your experience. All right, so it looks like that's all the questions that were submitted on the June 19 today there. Perhaps we could, excuse me, perhaps we could move to some Q&A and see if maybe you get other questions. So give me a sec. So I'm gonna, let me take a look first if there's anything here on the chat. All right. see. Okay, those were earlier. Josh, I think, is asking, or someone's asking, is Chris not on today? Well, so far he's not on. Just keep praying for him. And Josh is asking, is 1099A fake? Someone posted a chat on the chat that it's fake. Well, Chris has done it successfully. Some other people have done it successfully. So, and there's more than even one 1099A processes. So, you decide. You can hear from both sides and you make your own decision as to what to believe. I'm not here to tell you guys what to believe. I'm just here to share, to make it available, whatever Chris teaches in an easy format, and maybe bring along also additional things. But it's up to you what you believe. So Jay, I had to cast this to my TV to get more volume. Okay, never mind. That's not a question. So, okay, so I'm going to speak to that. Josh, I guess Josh is still on the line, right? Josh, are you still on the line with your question if the 1099A is fake? You can unmute if you are. But Jenna asked you to look into it yourself. So I'm going to speak to this. Someone just posted on our Telegram a video called 1099A Explained. And the title of the YouTube video is by this guy who criticizes Chris a lot. And by the way, he even had success with coupons apparently in some of his videos. So, but anyway, he says the 1099A actual use versus SPC gurus. So it's a 70-minute video. I looked at it, and to me, there are a couple of defects I found it. First of all, he calls Chris an SPC. Chris clearly says he has not done any SPC, that is not even necessary. He's the beneficiary. So, someone is talking? Okay. So, Chris is not an SPC, and this guy calls Chris an SPC when Chris clearly says you don't need that. He doesn't care about any status correction or any kind of SPC, because the only context in which Chris says he's an SPC is he's saying we're all secure party creditors or automatically, technically, because everything is backed by the food, faith, and credit of the nation, right? Or in the other context in which Chris talked about SPC is, well, after you do a lien security and a contract with Treasury, then you definitely have an amount. The amount that you liened, you would be sure that that amount will be in your trust account, and so then you can be secure to that extent. Or the third way I heard him talk about it is that you're definitely secure to the extent of what you have contributed to your Social Security account. So these are the ways I've heard Chris talk about it, but never does he engage into those SPC things out there. And this guy calls him an SPC guru. And then this guy is criticizing the way Chris is using 1099A, but he explained that, okay, you take the example he gave is someone who, a car is repossessed, then the lender goes and takes the car and files a 1099A for, abandonment or whatnot of property. Right, so he gives one use case where it is traditionally used by banks, right? But what about acquisition? So even in his example, he only gives one case. He's not talking about the other thing, and he's trying to say that Chris teaches is wrong, and he got it correctly. He only talked about one use case, abandonment. What about acquisition, right? And so again, this is the part where look. All I need is bring me the facts, then I can tell you what I think, right? So those defects in his videos and the beef he has against Chris, to me, it's enough to not be able to credit his video. It's enough to be able not to credit that. And for that reason, I'm going to delete that from the forum because, and again, the reason why I'm telling you these guys, I'm saying this openly, guys, is because I don't want you guys to think this is a freedom of speech issue. No, I have nothing against someone posting something like that if it helps. If you show me that, in a more clear way that, hey, this video shows that there's a flaw in Chris's process, let's look at it. I'm willing to look at it. But this is not that video. So this video, we're trying to learn properly, and I don't want this to come and confuse people who already have a short attention span. They already, you give people the course, they can barely read it, they can barely retain what they're reading, and we're adding more confusion. That's the reason why I take out this kind of content. It's not because I don't want people to know, but because it does not add anything. This video hasn't explained how Chris did something necessarily wrong. Chris clearly said his process is using these forms for lack of having a better way to use these forms in a non-standard way, and that's how he got his remedy. And that's why he started showing people how they could also get the access to their funds. This is how he has done it. This is how he has worked for you, and this is how it has worked for others. And Chris actually told me he even had to pay someone, his mentor or whatever, to teach him how to do that. So Chris is not the only one. He didn't make this up. He paid someone. Because I was discussing with Chris how some people are saying, oh, charging for content versus not, or Chris never charging everything. And Chris was saying, look, Jay, what you guys are doing, it's normal to have at some point to charge for something, and we're trying as much as possible not to charge per se, but to receive donations, you know what I'm saying? But Chris was saying that people have to understand that he said to me, even him had to pay to learn these things. And he had to pay a few $1,000s, So, but the point I'm making here is this videos is not adding any value, Some people have other constructive comment that help. That's wonderful. So I'm going to delete that, and I hope it makes sense. So if you guys see me deleting something or on the forum, that could be because I don't see how it is helping, but it doesn't mean we don't want to hear any opposite opinion, just as long as it's factual and constructive, not just, anyway, I've spoken enough on this. I don't want to continue on that. So I deleted once the person reposted, so I'm going to have to delete one more time.
I have a question.
Who is talking?
Eva?
Okay, go ahead.
Once the 1099 is filled by myself and the trustee, for an example, for an apartment for a year, where does the money go once it's filed? So I file it to, or the trustee would file it to the treasury, right?
Yes.
And then from there, what is the time frame and where does the money go exactly?
Well, if you don't provide any means for electronic transfer, they send you a check. They send the trustee a check. If the trustee provides a means of electronic transfer, then they probably would transfer the money into their account.
Okay, so they would provide where the funds would be accepted.
I'm sorry?
The trustee, so like the trustee, my example being an apartment complex, would provide the location for the money to be transferred?
If they don't provide a means, meaning the account number and so forth, to receive the money electronically, then a check will be mailed to them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So
May
guys,
I-
let me
You can
finish with the chat, and then we're going to go to Q&A, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Curtis. when you send a paper 1099A, do you mail the whole? When you send a paper 1099A, do you mail the whole sheet, or do you remove just the copy A? Well, technically, the IRS says you only need to send the copy A. So, but at the same time, Chris's position is, you know, he wants to know that the Treasury got it and process it. So he prefers to send the whole thing so that they mail back copy B and C. So that's the way that he prefers it. So that's up to you guys how you want to do it. Next is
Jay, I got a quick question.
yes.
So, I know Chris said that the beneficiary doesn't file anything. It has to be the trustee. Um, so if we file the 1099A online, and then we get a copy B back and we're trying to give it to the supposed trustee, does it mean that it is the beneficiary filing the 1099A or not? Because he had said something about, oh, you can probably do the online filing, and then when you get your paper 1099As, you can do the wet signature and also send it in and attach it. So I'm kind of a bit confused about the beneficiary doesn't file the 1099A, and if you can explain that.
Okay, I'll do that in a sec. Have you gone through the course on our website?
Not the whole thing, not 100%. But
Okay, so
is this something that I'm trying to reconcile?
okay, I suggest you go to the 1099A process course and go through, especially the sections after the videos, and go through that. It kind of explain who must file and why. Okay.
All right. Cool.
All right. So, all right. So let's just. I don't know if there's any more questions I missed here in the chat, but let's just open it for Q&A and see how much we can cover. I'm going to switch to Q&A mode. Carrie, you said you've tried Telegram twice and you haven't received the code. What code are you referring to? I don't get it. All right, maybe just I'm gonna start the Q&A, guys, and you guys can raise your hand with questions there, and then we can.
Q&A session has started.
All right. So Carrie, I still don't know what code you're talking about. So I don't know. Hold on 1 second. All right, so I see the queue is starting to fill up there. So just give me a second, guys. I'm gonna just send a few links in the chat for those who may need it. And then I'm gonna start answering some of those questions. Okay, for one-on-one, I'll send you guys the link here. Paste. So guys, if you have questions, just join the queue, okay? Because I can't read the chat at the same time while doing the queue thing. All right. Oops. Or just showing, sending one last link. And all right, so let's go to Q&As. All right, first caller. What is your question, Eva?
My question is for the 1099 miscellaneous. Can you give me a brief summary on that?
we don't cover that. It's not part of what the forms that Chris, you know, suggests that we use. It's not part of it. So there's not really anything to discuss about it.
Okay, so for um for rent and car and everything in use that are in those high numbers, like those kind of bills are 1,000 and up monthly, give or take. Like rent and cars are about 600 if you own a car from the car agency. We would use 1099As for those.
Well, my first question before I answer that is, have you gone through the courses on the website?
Yes, I have looked through many. I have looked through about 95% of Chris's videos, and I have looked through a decent portion of your website, the legalibus.
And you did
Yes.
not find the answer to how to use 1099A to acquire something?
Not how. I understand how to.
So what's your question then?
I guess the better phrase of the question would be if I'm already in a contract of paying a car payment and I'm in a contract of renting, how would I then go about using the 1099 to be able to lift those responsibilities and give it to the treasury?
Well, I believe the course covers that you give the 1099 to your vendor and they have to file the rest of the forms to get paid.
So they would continue the rest of the payments?
I don't understand what you're asking. If you want to pay for something with a 1099A, you provide a 1099A properly endorsed in the back, and then you give it to your vendor, and if they accept it, then they would have to process it.
Okay, thank you.
So that's the way you're not a trustee, so you don't act as a trustee. Now, someone in the chat asked, where is the link to the courses? So, where are the link? I just posted many links right in the chat, right? So Janet, you're asking for the links. The chat, just like 5 or 10 chats earlier, I just posted the link saying website, legalibus.com, courses, legalibus/sliding. You guys are killing me. Janet, you're killing me. So I post the link, you don't read, and you ask the question when I literally posted the link right there. And by the way, folks, if you have not gone through the course, don't ask any question. This is not, if you want to ask questions up and down, go to Chris's Q&A on YouTube and other things. Here, we're a study group. We want to make progress. We're not going to answer things that other people come here hoping to advance. We're not going to answer the same thing because you haven't taken the time to go through the course. I'm very serious. I'm going to skip your question if you do that. So make sure that you have gone through the course and that your question is, having understood the course, now you have further explanation. We're not going to spend 2-3 hours tonight, wasting time if something's already written from you. Just like Janet, I'm calling you out here. I post the links. Then your next comment was right after the links. I'm trying to find the courses, and the link is right on top of that. And now you're asking again, where's the courses? Right? So if you can't see it, close your eyes. Maybe you will see better. I don't know what else to say. Okay? So, and this is the problem, folks. This is the reason why people have, it's so difficult to obtain freedom, because people don't read, right? We spend our time, it's almost like people study only when there's really something to gain, like, oh, I need a degree so I can get a job. Then you study hard and so forth. And after that, you don't apply yourself to anything else in your life, unless it's to get you like maybe a promotion. I mean, seriously, guys, think about if you apply the same diligence you apply in your studies. Think about if you applied it to learning how to be free. Think about if you stop spending too much time. I mean, this does not apply to everybody, but to whomever it's applied. Think about if you spend less time watching TV, more time reading, If you read something that gives you good knowledge, read it again 5, 10 times. If you can't remember, read 10 times. Take notes, write down, come back to your notes. Your freedom is at stake. Come on, guys. But everybody just want to function in a dysfunctional way, in a mediocre way. Nobody wants to get smarter and get better. Just going down, 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 right? And that's the problem. Because for me to stand here and discuss with you, it took a lot of sacrifice, to learn along the way, to try to assimilate what I learned, right? So, and it's not too late. If you guys feel like, oh, I'm reading but I don't comprehend, all it takes is the will to change now and start building new habits. The habits of reading in a focused way. Shut down the music, shut down the TV, read with silence. Think about what you read. Rebuild that brain and attention that some people can't even focus for 5 minutes. And then they start looking for medication when for their entire life, they're not trying to do anything that helps to build up focus. So it's also a muscle, right? So, if you guys think you have a handicap or to learn, then take the right action now. Take it consistently. Take it, massively, and you're going to see a change. And plus, and above all, put God first and pray. If you tell me you don't believe in God, that's your problem. You already lost. But, God first, everything else after. That's what we believe. Okay, guys? So I'm going to continue to the next question here. And next caller, please.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello?
sir. What's your name?
My name is Hygenio, and your name?
Yes, my name is Jay. So what's your question?
Hey, Jay, thank you for taking the call. Yes, I've been through your courses. Excellent. I mean, I've gone through both the 1099 and the CA. In fact, not only did I go through the courses, but I threw it out there, you know what I mean, and did the CA, and, I had sent out the cards, certified letters and things like that. And I'll tell you, for me, the CA worked like a charm. I mean, that's a tool that is, I mean,
and just to clarify, for those who may not know, by CA, you mean the conditional acceptance. Go ahead.
That's correct, Jay. And but it has been a tool in my shed that I have thrown out there recently. And I tell you, I studied law as a not as an attorney, because I couldn't do that. I couldn't, something inside me, the Lord inside me, that spiritual connection. I couldn't take an oath and swear, to the Lord that I love and the Lord of my life, and then and then betray my country. It's just something that wasn't clicking. But I did get a general practice as a to get a general practice like a legal assistant, paralegal, things like that. And so that's helped me along a little bit with this. But one thing's for sure, the one thing that I nailed with it was legal research. And when I did the research on this, it was, it had complemented it in a way that's outstanding, Jake. And so, but where I'm at right now is that, so I threw it out there with a couple of folks that I wanted to, bring to the table in regards to that. In fact, they were sending out their documentation regarding, they're a corporation, and so the fictitious aspect was coming in. I knew that. They're saying that they're this and that, but, that was just words on paper and wasn't the real thing. So I went and did the conditional acceptance and sent it out there, worked like a champ. I mean, it came back. They didn't say anything. They didn't. I gave them enough time.
And
just like Chris had mentioned.
And to whom did you send it again?
I sent it out there to the corporations.
Got you. Okay.
That were denying me benefits and things like that.
Okay, fine. Okay. And what's your question?
And my question was that once that wave came back, and I got the green cards and the receipt from the post office that I had sent them out in regards to the conditional acceptance being the postal rule or the mailbox rule. I knew it was a done deal. And so, but right now where I'm at is the liens, I can do those. I'm in that process right now. But what I need is that next step is to how to monetize. I'll need some sort of like template to monetize, send it to the Treasury or whatever else I need, whether it's like UCC, the financial statements, that kind of guidance, that kind of steps, or consultation, so that once I can send all that to the Treasury, so that now we can, once that's in there after the 5, 6, or 60 days, the 4 or 5 weeks, or the time spent doing that, then we can, I would like to learn how to do the lines of credit. And that to me will be a plus. And I am willing to, because I see what you guys are doing, the movement, and I would like to also engage in helping others get to that point too, because I think it's very important, because I see the need for this nation to bring people to the light of truth. So I'm with you with it, but that's where I'm at with that.
Okay, so yeah, the only challenge is that, like I was saying earlier, we have not published the course yet on the Treasury contract and lead security. That's the only reason why I cannot speak to that right now. But yeah, that definitely sounds like it's your next step to send your Treasury contract, and there's a sample for that we're going to publish on the website, and then you wait for your 45 days and so forth. So that's going to be covered in the course. But again, when Chris is back, you're welcome to ask if he wants to answer. That's fine. But for me, if I'm already spending the time putting the course together, then I'd rather get that all square away before discussing those items. Okay, so definitely stay in touch for that. Okay.
One thing is certain, that as I mentioned, just throwing it out there, taking your courses and then implementing it, because to go ahead and send it out there and then to give them a time to respond, I mean, it worked like clockwork. It worked like a champ. So I think that what you have there is synchronized to the legal mechanism of what's right for folks for remedy, as you mentioned. And also that since it has been such a plus, those courses, if we can do somewhere along the line the 1099A, I would like to give back, because that's just the way I am. That which you sow, you reap. And if you guys invested in me and I did it and it worked, then I would also like to do that process to learn, make sure that it works. And then once that is in place, then I don't mind signing the 10 or doing the 1099A, so that we can give to the program several $1,000s and maybe put a couple of dollars in my pocket too, so that now we can move forward with this movement. It's a beautiful thing.
I appreciate the offer. I think when the time comes, we may do that. But I want to take the opportunity to maybe also answer to some of what some of the folks have been asking, because some people occasionally they come and they challenge us, say, well, if the 1099A works, then why do you need the money? Well, I just want to clarify for each one of you, right? The 1099A is a means used to access the funds for a beneficiary, right? We are an organization. Our organization does not have access to the funds. It's the beneficiary can access their funds, right? So don't come and say, oh, why do you need the money? Well, we're an organization. We're not a beneficiary per se. So and then you cannot go and submit a 1099A for a donation either, because it has to be for the benefit of the beneficiary. So yes, we're going to rely on people supporting what we're doing, right? The only way for us to do this 1099A is if we're selling a service to someone. So the only way to make it work would be to kind of like sell some kind of service and act like the vendor who is accepting 1099 for this service. That's the only workaround that I know of. But that also, like I said, it takes a while, because we're still waiting to see what happens with all the submissions since April, and we're still waiting we want to see some transactions, completely, so that we could, before we do more of those. So thank you for offering, but when the time comes, we can always be on that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Now, there's a lot of
makes
people on the
sense,
line,
Jake.
so I don't want to spend too much time here. Is there any other quick comment, because a lot of people are waiting on the line, and I want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to ask their question. But go ahead. Do you have any last comments, real quick?
Yeah, in conclusion, as I mentioned, that since it's the courses did benefit me as the beneficiary of the trust, then that's where the 1099 would come in to say, well, yeah, I used this, it benefit me, and so I would have funds to give it back to it because it's been a plus. So that's what I'm thinking. But thank you.
Send us an email about that, and then we'll follow up in due time. That's appreciated. That will be needed and necessary. We just have to figure out the right timing to do it and how we're going to do it. Yeah. Do you have a 1099A paper form yet?
Yeah, I just got those last week sometime, a couple of those, and I have not only just because they come in groups of I think two or three, something like that.
Yeah,
so I'm willing to put.
Just send an email about that, and then we'll follow up. Okay.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Okay. All right, next caller, please. Next caller. Yes. What's your name?
Yeah.
I cannot hear you very well. Hello?
Night.
Okay, what's your question?
Earlier, my question is, I heard you refer something about the statement, understand, but I didn't hear you clearly. So my question to you now is, what legal document or any case law you know of that refers to the term understand, mean reference to giving someone authority over you or stating that you're under them whenever they make that use that word or statement to you?
You're asking me what case law says that when that understand means standing under?
All right, let me rephrase the question. All right, the term "do you understand?" What case law or legal document or statute, whatever, you can point me to say, okay, read this document or read that dictionary or whatever, and it gives an interpretation that the term understand implies you are beneath me.
Well, I never made that point. That's the point that people make about understand, giving them the reason to. People believe that it is the case, and that's why they started. Instead of saying understand, they replace it with understand or overstand. I was making I don't make that case. That's the case that people who change the word make, and I was saying that it doesn't make sense. And that's why I showed the legal definition of understand and said, if you're talking legal terms, and then the legal definition of understand is clear. So there's no need to make up things or bring things that are not necessarily relevant to what we're writing. Make sense?
Okay, makes sense. More likely. To be fair, I'm doing my CA. And I've been following Chris from January, and I just finished my CA, and I read it like 6 times already, and I'm still like doing some grammar stuff. So a person should actually, whenever they're doing their CA with the case law, they should actually read a lot. It takes a lot of reading. That's just my saying to everyone who's listening right now. This takes a lot of reading. It's not easy. But thanks again for everything. I've donated, but I still haven't got a chance to read everything because I'm still trying to finalize my CA. But I appreciate all the effort and support.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you then. Okay. All right. Next caller, please.
Hi, how you doing? My question is, I'm going to be using the 1099-A form to pay my rent. So obviously my landlord would be the trustee. Is he going to, when a trustee does this, are they going to like claim taxes against him with the amount, because I'm planning on paying him a year worth of rent. I've done all your courses. I actually watched them 2 or 3 times each set of courses. I've watched the videos, and I was just curious about that, if they're going to charge him any taxes, because I want to be upfront, explaining to him, because he already agreed that he would take the 1099-A, and I'm going to sit with him this week. And I don't want him to get blindsided if they end up sending him something like months down the road that he owes money on the 1099-A.
Are you the trustee?
No, I'm going to be the beneficiary. He's the one who files all the papers.
So what's your business trying to explain tax to him? Doesn't he have a tax advisor?
Well, because I told him about the 1099-A, I wanted to use it because of the, I have a trust, I'm the beneficiary, and he said fine. And
yeah, but the beneficiary doesn't know anything. The beneficiary is just the beneficiary. Why do you take it on yourself to have to explain that to him?
Oh, well, I don't. I was looking out for somebody else so he wouldn't get blindsided if that was the case.
Well, the only answer is he receiving rent from you, you said?
Yeah, he's receiving rent from me, yeah.
Okay, so if he's receiving rent from you, doesn't he pay taxes on that rent?
I have no idea what he does, so I don't even have to worry about it then. Is that
so
what
if you
you're
don't,
saying?
why would I worry about it? If a landlord receives rent, if a landlord does things by the books, then they pay tax on the rent. In general.
Okay.
Whether you do 1099 or not. So if you're going to do it through a 1099, if it's the same rent, it's the same rent. So I don't see it as any special tax event, because if he's receiving X dollars, then he's liable to pay rent for X dollars if he's a taxpayer.
Perfect, and that makes me feel better because I just didn't want him to get blindsided. And one last question. I'm sending in my coupon payment, and I followed everything. And this might be a silly question, but when we sign the back as a beneficiary, do we print it or we have to sign it like in script? Because it doesn't specify that. It just says autograph, and I just, nowadays nobody knows how to write script. I do. I'm a Gen Xer, but that was my question. Do we write it in script?
You mean in the back? You mean in the back?
When we have to sign the back with the beneficiary on the coupon, okay, it says, I went down your list doing everything.
Well, you write your autograph with your hand.
No, I know with my hand, but do we print it out like print or signature in script?
I would write my name. I would handwrite. So, like normal handwrite. You know what I mean?
Well, no, because printing is like printing it or signing it with a script. That's what my question is, because like when you're looking at it on your list, obviously you're typing it, so it's in print. It's a print.
If you've seen the video, you've seen how Chris does it, right?
It's hard to tell with it because to see if he's writing in script or not, or if it's a print. That's why I'm asking.
What's your name again?
Renee.
Okay, so Renee, if I give you a piece of paper, I say,
okay,
give me your name. Write your name on this piece of paper. How would you write your name?
I would print it out.
Just write your name however you write your name. You know what I mean?
But if somebody told me to sign something, I would do it in script. That's why I'm just asking.
Yeah, but no, that's what I'm staying away from the term signature, because signature can be anything. Can be you can just scribble a bunch of things and whatnot. I'm staying away from that. I'm saying write your name. That's why I'm using the word write your name. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, because I had it printed out, and I don't know if that was wrong, if it had to be in the cursive writing. So that's why I wanted just to make sure before I sent it in if I did it the correct way, because I would just
write my name like I'm writing my name, right? I write my name. I don't have to try to make it cursive or whatever. I just write my name as a natural human being writes their name and put the dash and everything, and that's it. That's the way I would do it.
Okay,
I know
perfect.
you talk about print. I'm trying to not use the word print because you know, then I just don't want to confuse people, and then people are going to start thinking, you know, saying, okay, you have to print somewhere. And no, I'm just saying, write down your name, right? I would write down my name. If you fill out a form that say first name, last name, you know, you write your name. You know, write your name how you would write, you know, if you wrote your name on the letter or to someone or something. That's the way I would do it. You know what I mean? So it looks close to print, if you will, but
Okay.
but you know, but it's, you know, I just like to say I write my name. You know, that's the autograph.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's what was confusing me with when you put autographs. I'm like, am I supposed to print it? Am I supposed to sign it? Like, that's the only thing, and I didn't want to send it in. I'm sending in everything tomorrow, well, Tuesday. So I just wanted to make sure I got it. But I do thank you. I love your course, and because of your course, it made it clear to me the process, and I do appreciate you.
Well, thank you for your feedback. That helps to know what we're doing right, and so we can double down on what helps.
I tell everybody about it, and, you know, because, you know, you have great information for all of us to become free and no longer be slaves, and God bless you.
Amen.
I keep you and Chris in my prayers daily.
Yes,
so
please. We need prayers, you know. It's not something easy, you know. So, yeah, prayers are welcome.
No, it's not. If you ever need help, I'll send you a message. I could help you out, you know, with things. I
Yeah,
don't have an issue with that.
send a message, and then just you know, elaborate on what areas you think you can help, and then we'll go from there. Okay.
Okay, perfect. That sounds great. Thank you so much. Have a great night. I appreciate you.
All right. Next caller, please. Kay, are you there?
Hi, Jay.
Hi. What's your question?
Yes, it's me. It's me, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
In the course, it says, how are you?
Good. What's your question?
In the course, it says that, yes, in the course, it says that you would need a typewriter to type the Courier font, size 12. Has anyone had success in doing a 1099A without that font? Because the typewriter that we got doesn't have that font.
So if it's close enough,
you know
then
if anyone has had any success?
No, but you know, some people have even written things by hand. So if it's close enough, I wouldn't worry about it. Okay.
Yeah. The thing is, I guess you kind of have to know what Courier is first to see if it's close enough or not, you know.
Yeah, but you have a computer, right?
And I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, open the Word document, right? You know, your computers, you know, write a paragraph of anything, select Courier font, size 12, print on a piece of paper, and look and compare with your typewriter. If it's close enough, then that's fine. I wouldn't be too worried about it, unless you can, you know, you can find another typewriter. But again, you could also call your local library or something and try to see if they have a typewriter and see if that would do your purpose, satisfy your purpose.
I'm just wondering if everybody's doing it that way. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
but if people don't report, we don't know, right? If people don't come and say, hey, this is how we're doing it and this is result, then we don't know. And quite honestly, most people, you know, the process takes what, 60 to 90 days at this point. So it takes a while before, you know, we can say, okay, such and such did in such and such a way and it worked versus not. So, okay, I'll just do the best I can.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Next caller, please.
Hello.
Yes. What's your name and what's your question?
My name is Danya. Okay, so I watched the videos and I did the coupon method along with the letter that is in the video for the credit cards. I haven't got a response yet. So my question is, do I send in the 1099A now because I haven't gotten a response?
You sent your coupon to a credit card company? Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. And the
How
letter.
long ago? How long ago?
It's been over 10 days. I've got my green card and everything back, showing that they received everything, but I haven't got a response back. So,
but have they credited your account?
No, they haven't. They haven't credited
Okay.
my account. Actually, they said I was late on my payment. So
Okay.
that's why I'm asking.
Have you read the case studies that we have on the course?
Yes, I went through the course,
Okay.
all of
So
it.
the what did they do? The last two case study we posted, did they do? Or the very last one, what did the person do to get their account credited?
This is the last one. You sent an email the other day saying that there was a new case study. I was not able to access that last one because every time I try to go into the website for that particular one, I'm getting a 403 code coming up.
That's because you're not signed in. If you guys get a link in the email and you click, it doesn't go there, just sign in and then you're gonna have access. And if you can't get access, then go to the course and manually go to that section. So I really don't understand this, Tonya. You're surprising me. So you click on a link, right? You know you had access to the website before, and because you get a forward error, you stop there.
No, I was signed in. I'm always signed in.
Okay, so my question is, have you reviewed that case study, the last one?
I just told you I couldn't get in it.
Yes, you couldn't get in, and so when you couldn't get in, why did you not try to get into the course, back in the course? Why didn't you try to sign in? Why, like, you couldn't get in by clicking and you just stopped there?
But you're not listening to me now because I'm telling you that I stay signed in. When I go in, I keep myself signed into the course.
Okay.
So when you sent the email, I clicked on the link to go in because I stay signed in from the computer that I'm in, and it still came up to 403.
Okay, so, and then when it came up to 403, was it possible for you to just manually go to the course, meaning you just go to the course since you're signed in, you open the course yourself, and you look for that section?
Possibly, it could be possible that I could do that, but if
So
I was already signed,
what prevented you from trying that?
So what you also stated that you were having issues with your website.
No, not that. There are different issues, right? But I get that sometimes people may have an issue of 403 or forbidden and whatnot. But I've been saying, and I'm saying it again, if you're signing, you have access to the content. So I'm just showing you that even if a link doesn't work, go in a different way until we address whatever problem, if there's a problem. But again, no matter what you tell me, right? And I'm not speaking just, I'm not just calling you out here. I'm speaking for everybody who's listening, right? This is the attitude we need to think about, because you guys are never going to get your your freedom, if you don't know how to persist. Persist means what? I click one link, I click the link, it doesn't work. Okay, let me try to go to the course, right? Because I had access before. Let me see if the course work. Because if at least you did that, you say, well, I click on the link, it didn't work. I tried to go to the course and it didn't let me in, so I think you have a problem. But what if you went to the course and you realize, oh wow, I have access to the course. Oh, let me check the section. Oh, I see that section. What prevents you guys from doing that extra steps to try to get in a different way? Because we don't have the time to, everybody, oh, got a 413, you sit there, you don't, it's not just you, tens of people, they do that. They don't go any further, they bug us with email, and we have to spend the time explaining, I get it, it's our website, blah, 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 but again, we're giving it for free, right? Give us the funding, we're gonna fix everything. So we can't be providing for free and put an exorbitant amount of effort to fix everything when we're at the same time we're trying to get this content. So all I'm saying is, with the right attitude, right? With the right attitude, again, I'm not really talking just to you, Tony. I'm using this example to help other people understand, because so that hopefully we end up with less of these kind of issues, right? So it's not that you did something wrong per se, but I'm showing how you could have gotten more. All right, so you click on the link from the email. You don't have access. If you know you have an account, if you know you had access before, go straight to the course, because you already know it's in the course, and look at that section, and then you'll see. And that's why when we post that on Telegram, we post just the link to the course, and we say, go there and then look for the new section, because we know people may have issues going directly, directly to that section. And then sometimes people say, well, why don't you send us the direct link to the section because, you know, so I don't know, we can't do it both ways. So anyway, that being said, if you had gone to the course, you would have been able to see that. Okay?
All right. I just don't feel like, sir, can you let me speak some? Just let me finish my statement.
Yes,
I
go
just
ahead.
don't feel like that you're being fair on this situation because you posted inside of the Telegram link that you were having issues with the website. And a lot of people are not tech savvy. And so you're saying, we're just offering this to you free and things like that. But when they ask a question, then you just kind of blowing it off like you should have did this and you should have did that. What if somebody is not tech savvy?
Okay.
I mean, you're not really being fair.
Okay, I appreciate your feedback, you know, so I appreciate that. Now let me respond to that, right? Let's not mix things. Whenever we say we had issue with the website, what did we say? I can read the message here. The message says, our website is down. While we're working on the issue, please do not go to the website until we give you notice that it's up and running. So is it the same issue? No, because when it's down, you wouldn't even have access to the page that says 403. So now you're mixing things because it's totally not the same thing. So I'm going to ask you again, and to everybody, please be more diligent. Read more clearly. Pause if you have to. Understand what you're reading because this is not the same issue. And then a few hours later, we said, our website is now up. Thank you for your patience. So that was not the same issue. And this email was sent days. The website was down yesterday, the 18th. The email about this content was sent days ago, like during the week.
I actually commented inside of your website and you said, I explained to you what my issue was in there, and you said, well, if you donate, then you can get the link to it. That's what you told me.
No, okay, let's find out because I don't recall it that way. Go ahead. Where did you post the question? You mean inside the forum or you mean by email? I want to get to the bottom of this. So where did you put the comment?
Hold on, let me find it for you. I can tell you the date. Give me a second.
Because the only thing I recall is if someone, and because I think like now you're talking about a third different thing, right? We had a private study session. And people asked,
I asked the question, the same question that I asked today, and you said, oh, we discussed this in the other thing, and you said, if you donate, you can get the link to it. I said, can you send me the link? You said, well, if you donate, you can get the link. That's what you said to me. The same question that I asked you.
Okay, so let me clarify because so that was in Telegram then?
Yes.
Okay, and what was your name on Telegram there?
My name is Danya.
Okay, so that was was that in the general?
Yes, it was in the general section. I asked the same question that I asked tonight.
Okay. Okay, so I don't have I don't want to spend too much time searching for it, but my point is, anybody who I responded probably that we submitted that we talked about it in the Friday session. Well, if you ask for the link, to the recording of the Friday session, the answer was that was a private session for donators. Anybody who has donated will receive the link of the recording. That's what we've been communicating. So it's not something, again, it's a different story. If you ask for the link to the case study in the website, no, it's free.
I asked you the question in the Telegram group, and you said you can get it if you send a donation. And so now I'm on this call, so I'm asking the question again, and instead of just giving me the answer, you said, oh, you should have went to the website. And I told you that I went to the website to see that. I didn't say I went to see it because of this. I said I went to see it because you sent me the link. You sent a link to everyone, I suppose. I went to try to click on that link because you said if you had looked at the link, it would have been there. I tried to look on that link previous to even asking that question in Telegram, and I couldn't even open the link because I got that response, that 403 response. So again, I'm doing my due diligence. I'm just asking a question. Do I send in the 1099-A now because I haven't received a response for my conditional acceptance letter and my coupon?
Okay, so the before I answer your question, I was directing you to read that case study, because the case study we just posted, there's something specific that she had to do to get her account credited. I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to go and read it. You're going to go to the course. You're going to open it. You're going to go to that section. You're going to read that case study. You're going to know what she did to get her account credited. Now, you're asking me, do you send the 1099? So now you sound like I'm not answering your question. Well, first of all, you have a problem. They haven't credited you. If they haven't credited you, what else can you do? So I just gave you the answer. Someone answered it. Someone shared a story. Go learn from that. That's one way that you could try. Now, if you want to send the 1099-A, yes, you can. Will they accept it? They may give you the same treatment. You know,
okay. I will go into and look at what.
Because even if you give them 1099-A, it's like giving them another payment, right? It's, you know, and Chris sometimes says, yeah, you might as well send it to them. You can, but expect that they may not. There's one person who reported that they took the 1099-A, she didn't hear anything, and 2 months later they credited the account. But again, afterwards they reversed the transaction, and that's why we changed that. And it's still on in the UK study in the course. So we had to change the title now in the course to say that transaction was reversed, by the way. But we did not take it down because we want you guys to see the process, what people are going through. When it's accepted, that sometimes there's still a risk they reverse it, so that you don't jump into, we don't cry victory too quickly. So we know at each step, we know what to do, right? So and then eventually, and that's why we have also started talking about other remedies. So your next step, if they don't accept your course, your coupon, is after you do what that woman did, right, is you can do a conditional acceptance. And that also is discussed in the course. I'll tell you exactly. If I go to the coupon, I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see, because if you guys think I'm not fair, I'm going to show you that I'm totally 100% fair, because the information is provided to a certain extent. To a great extent, it's only new information that we're still kind of working on, that you haven't published yet, but eventually we're going to publish. So you guys can see my screen. So I go to the courses link, and I click on how to pay bills with coupon, and the case studies are right there. Now, there's a section that says how to deal with rejection and pushback. And if you click on that, right, it says, we expect rejection and pushback. However, if you send the payment and they don't accept it, and you have made a lawful attempt to settle the debt, then you don't owe it. Our next step would be to send them a conditional acceptance. More on that later. So if you have read this section, right, and remembered it, then you have your answer in the course.
Okay,
now,
so the letter...
Now imagine... Go ahead, sorry. I don't want to talk over you.
Let me ask you one question. So the letter, in the section where Chris talks about not the 1099, but the conditional acceptance, he has like 4 examples. He has an example for a credit card. He has an example for a mortgage. He has an example for a traffic ticket. He has a few examples. The one for the credit card, I actually sent that as well, and I completed it in my own form, not my own format, his format, but I made it, to address me. That was with my coupon, and I sent it to the CEO as per Chris, as him stating that. So that's why I was
that's
asking.
Incorrect. You don't send a conditional acceptance with your payment. You send the payment first as a coupon, and if they don't accept it, that you did now conditionally accept them on their response.
Okay. So the coupon
so you cannot send payment with a conditional acceptance. It doesn't make sense.
So the coupon shouldn't have went with the CEO, is what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the coupon should not go with a conditional acceptance. I'm not talking about the CEO here.
Okay.
The coupon cannot go with that. But not no problem. But do you see now why I spoke the way I spoke? Because the answers are in the course. One more time, and plus the extra. And that's the reason why I took the time to challenge you a little bit and to challenge everybody else, so we don't have to go through this for many people. Okay? I'm not saying you guys can't ask questions, but be ready. If you're not well prepared, be ready also to accept this kind of answer. So that's all I'm saying. All right? I'm not trying to be mean. All right? So you're very welcome. Try that, and then definitely report back or come back again so we can have further discussions based on what you get. All right? Okay. So next caller, please. Next caller, you there? All right, we're going to move to the next caller. And
Hi.
what's your question?
Hey. Hello. So my question is pretty simple. It's in regards to just I hear that Chris mentioned that the trustee the trust is the Social Security Social Security number is part of the trust, whatever the case may be. But I only hear it from him. Where do I go to read on the fact that your Social Security number is part of your trust? Because all of this information is coming from him, but I don't have references.
Yep, I understand that's a challenge. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Are you on the website right now?
Which website? I mean, I have several websites up, like consumerfinance.gov, and I'm looking at other stuff, but I really want to find a reference to the things he's saying in the videos, and I'm sure the UCC codes and all the other extra stuff, but I'm not so sure about the general things that he say, because it's so fascinating to hear his responses. It's like, where is he getting that from? And I know he's spent time in jail in the law library, so of course he has so much time to read and understand all of what the nuances, but I too would like to deepen my understanding and not just reference to say, oh yeah, just go to Chris's video. I want it to be something where I can show others this is where you can actually reference. For those who have gone to college, you can't just type up your essay without, references. So that's what I'm really trying to.
And so you're looking for references of, repeat your question.
Just basic information. He said, like, for example, he mentioned that like I said earlier, the Social Security number, as soon as someone takes your Social Security number, I guess it's a trust law. I guess I'd have to read into trust law, huh?
There's a video that explains the cess-to-equate trust. That would be a video that you might want to watch. I think it's somewhere on the website. I was looking for it now. But that would be a video that would explain to you how it all works.
That's fine. The videos are helping. I just read in the chat it's the trust law, which I'd now just seen that. That's probably where he's getting all this information, because it's good to listen and watch the videos, but it's also good to do extra study time and just knowing what you're actually doing, and not just, like you said earlier, copying the templates and not understanding who you are and where you how to play the system, really. So that's really what my question is. But I think
I know there's a video, and I think it's somewhere on the website in the form. I'm trying to look for it. If I could find it, I'll be able to tell you exactly.
Okay. So in the video, it'll tell me where to go to.
It's a video that explains about the cess-to-equate trust, and then once you watch that, it's going to help you understand the relationship between between all those things, because sometimes people also misspoke. There's not only one thing, you know. There's multiple things associated with that. Hold on,
Okay. Someone says meet your straw man is a video. I don't know if that's the video you're trying to reach.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm gonna just send an email and I'll try to get that video. I think I might be able to find it real quick here too. Let me see.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about what Chris mentioned, is that we have to teach others to teach others to teach others to teach others. So if we're going to teach, yes, we're going to reference a video, but at the end of the day, it's black and white. It's about the law. It's about what is written. So we have to have still a reference beyond just the video, you know. But I will send an email.
I'm going to send the video right now. I'm going to send the video right now on the chat here, okay? I'm going to send it right now in the chat.
Says trust name.
All right, I just sent the video on the chat in here, okay?
Thank you.
And then that will explain to you how it all works. And this guy does a great job at giving more details than what other people talk about, and he has done a lot of research on that. Okay.
Great, thank you.
All right, next caller, please.
Hi, Jay. This is Dave Cantera.
Hi.
So I did a little chart. And I put the forms across the top, a spreadsheet, and the actions were taken, like purchase a house, pay off your mortgage with a coupon, purchase an auto, use it on a contractor. So I just want to go over the forms that you use, let's say, to purchase a house. So the beneficiary gives us the 1099. The trustee will do a 1099B, a 1099C, the OID, the 1096, the 1040V, and the 888 deposit.
What's your question?
Is that the forms we need for that?
Go read the 1099A process. There's a section that tells you what the trustee needs. Okay?
Yeah, I did that. I'm just clarifying.
Well, if it's written there, there's nothing more to clarify. If it's written there, it's what's written there.
All right.
Okay?
Thanks.
So, all right. Next question. Next question.
Hello?
Yes, sir. What's your question?
Jay, yeah, this is Arthur and Arthur Scott. My question is, I've gone through the course. I've used the coupon method, and I've gotten one response back from one credit card. I'm waiting on the other one, and I have made some calls. One I've just rejected it. And I've listened to as many of Chris's videos as I can find. This is the question that I have. My wife and I are purchasing a 1.13 acre lot. We've been purchasing it for 2 years. We want to build a home on it. It's estimated to cost about $400,000. Now, everything is in, because my wife has a better credit bureau file. It's in her name and on her social security number. And I've looked as far as I can to find out, can I use my trust to take over the house and the lot? And they're waiting on us to give them like 20% down on it to do the conventional financing. Now I'm also waiting on an insurance settlement that will enable us to put the 20% on it. I'm just not able to connect the things yet, and I'm just doing all my research that I can to connect my trust to do that. And I don't know if I'm doing it wrong or out of order. Can you help me with that? Or tell me where I should go to get that
What kind of
information?
trust are you talking about?
The Social Security Trust. I'm filed a 1099A on my Social Security Trust.
Okay, and to acquire what, the land?
Yeah, to acquire the lot and the house. But see, everything is under her name and her social.
But it's your wife, right?
Not, yeah, it's my wife, my legal wife, and she's not really open to the process. And
who's going to be the trustee? Who's going to be the trustee?
Well, see, I don't have one yet. I'm trying to get one. And I know I can't be the trustee of it because husband and wife cannot be the trustee of each other's trust.
I think it might be possible if you have a trustee to do that. A trustee that's not your wife. It might be possible, but I would watch for. See, I don't know. The problem is if you're married and it's under her name after marriage or before marriage?
It's on her name after marriage.
I'm not sure that there's a little bit of gray area that I'm not too sure about. Like if it was acquired after marriage and you guys are married, there's a potential that what she owns is yours too. So I'm concerned that if you do that, it might. I'm concerned it might fall on the trust fraud. I'm not too sure.
Fraud.
But I would be concerned. That would be a concern I would have. Yeah. So as to acquiring a house that's under your married wife that was acquired as marital asset, and you're acquiring it on your own name. No, I'll be cautious. I'll be cautious about that.
Yeah, that's why I am now. See, because we started purchasing. We've been married 11 years, but we started purchasing it about 2 years ago, and we just started talking with the bank about building the house just a few months ago in January. And but I had a question about can I use it? The trust.
Is there a mortgage on the house?
No, see, we want to build a brand new house.
Okay, but you said that you said the land and the house is under your wife's name. That's what I thought I understood.
Yeah, see, the land, we're already purchasing it, but it's because of her credit score and credit bureau thought it was better than mine, we went with hers.
Right,
so
but is there a house on it or not?
No, it's just a clear lot. We want to build a house, and we've looked into building one that's going to cost about $400,000.
If you're trying to, so you're not trying to acquire the land from her, you're trying to build the house on the land. Is that what you're trying to do?
Right.
If it's the fund to build a house, then you can. Because you're saying but if you're saying you're gonna acquire the lot that you guys both acquired maritally already, I see a problem with that. But if you're saying you need the funds to build a house, then it sounds like someone could request the fund to build a house for as long as it's to the benefit of the beneficiary. Then yeah.
Okay. All right then.
But without any effect to the land though, meaning it's more like you're just trying to get a fund to build a house.
Yeah. Okay. All right then.
I don't see it too much more differently than if you were trying to make a renovation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. All right then. Okay. Well, I'll just have to get a trustee then, and I have some OIDs, some 1040Vs, and I think I have some 1096s. If you'd like some of them, I can send them to you.
You have some what?
Some 10 OIDs.
Yeah.
1099, 1099. I'm sorry, 1040Vs, and I think I have the 1099 NECs.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to send it to us, that will be mainly to help others, though. So you're welcome to do that, and just send us an email or submit a comment, submit a note on that, and then we'll tell you where to send it. And then how many are you trying to send? Or you could confirm that.
I think I have I think I got 50 of the OIDs.